The votes are in. You made your voice heard across Ohio and Michigan for the primary election.
Voters decided on several key issues and picked the candidates who will face off in the general election come November.
We are tracking where the votes stand this morning, but we do want to note that while some counties may be reporting 100% of results today, these numbers are still unofficial.
Those official results will come in about 3 weeks when county boards of elections certify those results.
Here in Lucas County, voters are deciding on a levy to fund emergency communications. This would increase funding for the 911 system, supporting technology and equipment upgrades. Supporters say it's needed to modernize services, while others argue current funding is enough. So we'll take a look at those results. Lucas County voters voted for the 911 and public safety levy by 53%. 47% of the county voted against it. Lucas County voters also decided on a new levy for the Toledo Zoo.
The proposal replaces 2 current levies that expire this year, and officials say this levy will lower the overall tax burden for property owners. Zoo leaders say the funding will go toward major improvements, including a new veterinarian hospital and updates across the campus.
We thank you so much, Lucas County, for the support over the years, and we are so positive that we can continue to provide excellent animal care and engaging experiences for our visitors and wonderful conservation efforts, here and abroad.
And let's take a look at those results. The voters went in favor of the Toledo Zoo levy, 57% voting for the levy, 43% coming in against it. Meanwhile, 2 Lucas County school levies appear to have failed. Unofficial results show voters in Sylvania and Springfield school districts did not grant requests for more money.
District leaders warn rising costs aren't going anywhere, and now the question of what comes next is top of mind. Both superintendents warned of the impacts if their levies failed. Tatiana Cash is focusing on Springfield first this morning. Tatiana?
As of right now, Springfield's 3.9 mil levy has 58.9% against the levy and 41% for it. With the levy not looking likely to pass, the Superintendent Guiha says that the district will have to continue working in the red. Springfield local school districts found the district lost about $1.5 million in state funding just last year, and the aim of the 3.9 mil levy, says Guiha, was to help make up this deficit, as the levy was actually predicted to generate about $4 million annually for the district, costing homeowners about $137 per year for every $100,000 of assessed home value. However, these additional funds are likely not coming to pass.
And without this passage, that will continue next year, because we do take another $300,000 hit from Ohio in the current school funding plan.
So with more cuts likely on the horizon, district leaders are going to have to go back to the drawing board to figure out what exactly comes next. Tatiana Cash, WTOL 11.
Tatiana, thank you. Voters are rejecting Sylvania's request for nearly 8 mills to raise $18 million a year for daily operations.
Let's take a look at those results as they stand this morning. As you could see, 60% of voters voting against the Sylvania schools levy compared to just 40% who voted in favor of this levy.
Voters approved Otsego Local Schools' request for a 5-year income tax levy to help fund daily operations and projects there. District leaders say rising costs and past budget cuts are driving the need for new revenue there. So, taking a look at those results, 56% of voters voted for the Otsego Schools income tax levy, while 44% of voters voted against it. And voters in Evergreen Local School District were asked to renew a 5-year income tax levy as well. District leaders say that money would continue to support day-to-day operations. But that levy failed, with 52% of voters voting against the levy for Evergreen Local Schools. 48% had voted for it. Voters in Adrian also deciding on major building projects there. The district proposed a bond to fund a new community recreational facility and updates to its performing arts center. 54% of Adrian voters there voted against that levy, while only 46% had voted for it.
You also chose which candidates will face off in Ohio's 2026 governor's race, as current Governor Mike DeWine is term limited. Vivek Ramaswamy will now face Dr. Amy Acton. Laura Sandlin joins us live this morning. Laura, last night's candidates swept in the polls.
Sophia, last night Dr. Amy Acton was automatically the Democratic candidate, and Vivek Ramaswamy won in a landslide result as the Republican candidate for governor. Ramaswamy won against other Republican candidate Casey Pusch. Throughout his campaign, Ramaswamy received backing from President Donald Trump and Governor DeWine. Dr. Amy Acton ran unopposed. She previously acted as the Ohio Department of Health director. Last night, both Ramaswamy and Dr. Acton made promises to the public of what they would accomplish if they were voted in.
I will never quit on Ohio. We will always do the work required to make the best decisions required to deliver you lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools, to deliver you a revival of that American dream that I know exists.
I am a lifelong public servant who has been fighting for Ohioans my entire career. And that is why I have spent my entire career not looking the other way and fighting for the people of Ohio.
Ramaswamy and Dr. Acton are set to face off for the governor's seat coming this general election in November. Reporting live, Laura Sandlin for WTOL 11.
All right, Laura, thanks so much. And we can break down those results by county. You can see behind me, Ramaswamy swept in Ohio, winning all of its 88 counties over Casey Pusch. Ramaswamy getting 82.5% of the vote. Casey Pusch just getting 17.5% of the vote. Taking a closer look here at Northwest Ohio, those darker green areas, which is a good chunk of Northwest Ohio there, going in favor of Vivek Ramaswamy. You can see Lucas, Ottawa, and Henry counties overwhelmingly voted against Pusch. And I do want to point out, Casey Pusch is a Northwest Ohio native. He is from Tiffin in Seneca County. I could tell you in Seneca County, he received just 30.3% of the vote compared to Vivek Ramaswamy, who received about 69.7% of the vote there. Heather?
Thanks, Sophia. Turning to the closely watched race for U.S. House District 9's Republican primary, the Associated Press is projecting Derek Merrin as the winner. The four other candidates, Josh Williams, Madison Sheehan, Aaliyah Nadeem, and Anthony Campbell, lagged behind him by a decent margin. Taking a look at the results here, you can see 44% of the votes went to Derek Merrin, while those four trailing candidates there did not continue on in that election. The GOP picked Merrin as their nominee in 2024 when he nearly upset longtime Democrat seat holder Marcy Kaptur. And now it appears that race will happen again.
It is time for new and fresh leadership for Northwest Ohio, and I'm going to fight to defeat Marcy Kaptur and make sure our region is uplifted and gets the resources it needs from Washington that has neglected our region for a long time.
Kaptur has held her seat in Congress since 1983. She released a statement last night saying she is ready for November and that voters already rejected Merrin in 2024.
And this morning, we are hearing from the other candidates that went up against Merrin. State Representative Josh Williams released a statement reading, "Well, this was not the outcome we hoped for. I want to thank every voter, volunteer, and supporter who believed in this campaign and gave it everything they had." He went on to say, "Thank you to everyone who stood with us and believed in me, a former homeless high school dropout. Your support is proof that the American dream is still alive and well and worth fighting for every single day." We are also hearing from Aaliyah Nadeem this morning saying the voters have spoken. She says, "I want to congratulate Derek and his family for running a competitive campaign with the voters of Northwest Ohio always top of mind. I am here to help, support, and cheer him on as he works to unseat an incumbent who has been in office since 1983. And Madison Sheehan released a statement of her own. It reads, "I am grateful to all my supporters and volunteers who helped launch this 11th hour campaign. We ran a clean campaign that focused on the issues and who best can beat Marcy Kaptur." And Anthony Campbell is also thanking those who voted, volunteered, and donated to his campaign. He's also congratulating Merrin, saying, "I look forward to supporting you this fall to take common sense to Washington."
Let's now take a look at the U.S. House District's Libertarian race. A pair of candidates are running for the seat. Matt Althouse and David Gettert, who is also known as Sugar Vermont, are both campaigning on small government and personal freedoms. And taking a look at those results, Matthew Althouse won the election here with 59% of the vote, while David Gettert took 41% of that vote.